Hi, this is Nick from Quattroop Game here. We are doing a new show called Your First Hour. I'm going to try and make it a monthly show, but if we can find the time, we're more likely to do 2 shows in 1 month. This month it's going to be on Dark Souls 2, and by God does it need it. So the point of the show is to get an in-depth analysis and sort of first look on everything that you need to know to do with Dark Souls 2 for either first time players or anyone who missed anything going into a new game plus or seem to have forgot things from the first round. So, we'll start a new game. Don't need to see this. It's not important for the playthrough. And here we go. Right, I'll start the timer now. It's going to be an hour or to that there of, depending on where we go. Go. So anyone who's played Dark Souls 1 or Demon Souls, when I first played it I couldn't notice a huge graphical improvement, but then after playing Dark Souls again and then coming back to Dark Souls 2, you'll find that the graphics are actually quite nice. Any of these enemies that you've seen here won't even bother touching you, but there are items over here on the right and the left side. There are items. Rusted coin, you can use that later on to increase your luck if you're trying to get some rare armor. That rusted coin will come in handy, especially when you're trying to find the Mad Warrior, I think his name is. He's someone who you fight up at Belfry Sol for his Mad Warrior gear. That is very hard to find. So there's nothing over there. Obviously the place is lit, that's where you'll need to go, but if we take a slight detour, this left hand side we'll see this Cyclops' footprints leading up here. You do not want to fight him, die. Pick up the item and go. Gold Pine Resin, that'll come in handy. Say you're fighting either tough enemies that you're fighting, or I used him for the first boss that hopefully we'll get to in this first hour. When you do die in the first time this, you do get the achievement called Welcome to Dark Souls. So if that's your first time dying whilst playing this game, I think it'll make you a little chuckle to yourself if you're fans of the games, previous games as well. Right, let's get to it as fast as we can. Nothing around here, nothing around there, just to go straight. Don't need to see this cutscene. Anyone who's playing this for the first time and using this as a sort of step by step, you're already watching the cutscenes you're going anyway. Let's call ourselves Quack. Right, so here we are, class and gift. Class, warrior, knight, swordsman, bandit. This all comes down to the game makes it a lot more easier when you press select to go to the right hand side and give you these information for every single stat which you didn't give in Dark Souls. This is so much better. So if you want to really spec out a character, you want to min-max. If you want to min-max character completely, you start with Deprived. You start at level 1, but you get 6 all round. So if you know sort of exactly or to thereabouts where you need to be going with all your stats, Deprive is best pick. Here we will go with, let's go with the Knight. Gift, nothing. Life Ring, you find them later on in the game. Human Effigy, you find a lot of them. So picking these as your starting gift is not as important as something else. So that's useful. The healing wares are quite useful, especially for first time players. Homeward Bone, you find some of them. Cedar Tree of Giants. That's useful. Bonfire Ascetic. If I were going to set anything, I would pick the Petrified Something or the Bonfire Ascetic, because Bonfire Ascetics are so hard to come by, especially unless you farm them, which is quite late on in the game, or the Petrified Something, which I think turns into the Dragon Egg, which lets you go into the Dragon Covenant. Let's go with the Bonfire Ascetic. Well, let's go something for the sake of the video. Let's go with the Healing Wares. Right. Body, let's just go with male, no physique, normal. This is all fine. Yeah, let's just carry on as this. All the rest is just for your personal preference anyway. I don't think we need to take time to go into that for my sake. I think the interesting thing with Dark Souls 2 is that you do find these people who do come to Drangleic to figure out the curse and to break the curse upon themselves, but then end up just forgetting why they even came in the first place. Walk up the stairs straight away. Items in here, it's either a Human Effigy, I think. Yep, Human Effigy. What you need to not do, under any circumstance, is attack any of these women. Because this is the lady who resets all your stats with, can't remember the item off the top of my head, but you get an item which resets all your stats so you can put them all back into different aspects if you want to respec your character. This lady isn't as important, but she does give you a ladle when you defeat the Cyclops, which is about as helpful as you want to take it really. First bonfire, let's go. 6 minutes in, let's get this. They did a lot of, in the marketing leading up to this game, they did a lot of making the torch seem like quite a viable thing for the game. Like the torch was going to be important, it was going to light ways and some enemies were going to get affected by it. Unfortunately this isn't the case. The only times where I've seen torches really affect areas is in the gutter, which is quite far on later on in the game, and then there's these, I don't know if they call them night walkers. The name's just coming from my head. If that's the name then fair enough, but if not then there you go. And they actually are afraid of the light. If you go near them with this, they actually run away, which gives you a chance to attack them appropriately. But you don't even need the torches area. I just like this because I think the aesthetic of seeing this area all lit up after you've used a torch is quite nice. I always thought to myself that maybe there was some grand dagger. That's your dagger is great if you're dual wielding, because you can, I've used using it with a shield because it's great to parry and then you have a high critical chance of critical hits, high critical hits with the dagger. So that's very useful, especially for backstabs and parrying and slide this in. life gem. Start with 21 life. What have we started with now with the healing wares? We've got radiant life gem, over radiant life gem, and poisonous. This is a really good it's a really good helpful thing to start out with, actually, the healing wares, because the things that you might not even use now until quite late on in the game. Right, let's get to these. This is the nest. I can't remember the name of the invisible crow that gives you items when you drop them. We don't have any items to drop in now, I don't think, but if you get smooth and silky stones, you do have a chance to get some really rare items. I think one of them being the white. Oh, don't want to miss that. It's an item. Plenty of souls, plenty to drop. I wouldn't really advise you to do this on your first playthrough. Just because I obviously don't have a shield. I don't want to dual wield just because I want to use a torch. We can use a torch for attacking, but it doesn't do a right lot. 12 damage compared to that. If you hit him enough times, it will inflict continuous burning damage, but when you can move on, there's not really much point. The jumping is being changed for this game, so now it's not holding. I'm playing on the PS3, so it's not holding circle and circle again, it's holding circle and clicking down L3, which is a bit strange to get used to on the first time, but then after you've used it once, you do realise that it's quite an improvement. Although when you do play Dark Souls again, it's like second nature going back to that running the circle to the circle jump. Even though it doesn't make much sense just makes it awkward, but I guess that's the point really. These, which I've missed, are all helpful hints that you'll need to know if you've never played Dark Souls 4. If you play Dark Souls 4, you'll know all these things. I think on my first playthrough, I just went through them anyway. I've got an enemy here. This is the gravestones will have told you to do a drop-in plunge shot, just like how you do with the first boss in Dark Souls. Let's go over here. Jump and attack. So obviously, yeah. Flicking forward and R2 is jump and attack. Okay, yeah. It's good to really sort of take your time around this area, because you won't be, it's not a place where you'll come back with a new item and figure out new things, or come back and open new doors. This is just a place where it's really good just for you to take your time, explore, get the items you need, and you won't need to come back unless you fight those two Cyclops down there, which we'll get to in a moment. Oh, the torch is gone. Oh, so that's it. Great. Back here, right, let's quickly go get them souls. Oh, it's right, but this area does look a lot better when it is lit up. Oh, now I am dead. The undead looking quite different than what they did on the first Dark Souls. I found that these seem to look more zombie-like, but I'm not 100%, but it may be a case of, I know when I had a beard on my other character, that when the more undead I was becoming, the beard wouldn't be there anymore, so But I think that's just something to be confirmed by something else. I'm not 100% on that. Right, let's get these swords. I hate those stupid manoeuvres that you make when you mess up just coming out of not even a tight space and you're just falling off through death. Took that quite easily. Let's take a life gem before we get down here, 'cause this is a tricky area. At the bottom of here you've got that guy, but then as soon as you drop in to fight him, you also have an archer that's ready to pluck you, that guy there. Let's put on the dagger for dual wielding, seeing as there's no way to defend ourselves, so we might as well go all out attacking. So let's cinch down here first, get this guy, see if we can clock him, there we go. Let's wait for him to shoot another one, climb these stairs. If you run quick, if you run to him, to any archers really, before they have the chance to sort of get the weapons ready, you have a free opening just to slash away. As soon as I saw this, I was like, what is in that sarcophagus? We're obviously going to go back and meet Nito, the Grave Lord from the first Dark Souls. No, that sarcophagus is blocked and guarded by not just one, but two Cyclops which are around that corner, which are not easy to fight by any standard. But I have done it, I've claimed the reward, and the reward is to change your gender just by jumping in it. So if that's what, if you want to go, this is totally the sort of the rebirth of things betwixt. You can go reset all your stats, and then you also can also become a lady if you want to. So we'll get out of there. I would have liked to light up all that area, but the more torch you get, the more time you get. So from the first torch you didn't get a lot of time. I'm playing in online, and I think this is the game is really sort of like, not crafted, but really benefits from the online play. Like before on Dark Souls I could just leave myself in the world, but this game they've really pushed towards that cooperative play for the online. This is Majula. I'm glad they put quite a bit of effort into it, especially making the sort of water look reasonably nice, and sort of the area to look sort of eye-catching, and the music, because the music is what you're going to be hearing a lot. You're going to be coming back here a lot of times. Is this the place where we, is it? Right. There's an item down here, so I'm just figuring out where it is. It's those down there, I think, yeah, here we go. So, item. Just drop down here, and then we'll drop down there. I think it's binoculars, and that's the Morning Star and the Cleric's Chime, and then the binoculars are here. Another way of getting on there is if you want to run and awkwardly jump onto there, that's another way, but through finding other ghosts sort of dropping off there, you sort of realise that that's a safer way to go. Looks like this bonfire. There's plenty of NPCs around here, her being the most important. That's just what she has to say. Nice Estus flask, which is what we definitely need. Now you don't sit at the bonfires and level up whenever you want. You go walk back to Majula, the Emerald Herald is the one who's going to be increasing your soul level. This is a nice touch. I like this. That's on Odessa Worldwide, and today's date is so 10th of July. So can't even read that number. So take that. This guy, if you join the Covenant, he gives you a ring which slightly increases your health. It sounds like I'm pretty sure it's the same voice actor who did the name skips me, but they're just the first guy who you meet at the first bonfire in Dark Souls with the armor on, who turns undead later on in the game. So you just keep speaking to him. Talks about being protected and being protected by the Blue Sentinels. Yeah. You should join really every Covenant in Dark Souls as you're sort of going along, because unlike in Dark Souls 2, unlike Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2 doesn't punish you for leaving Covenant, so back here we've got the letters are worn beyond recognition. There's something to do with DLC later on, which has been out for a while now. We haven't got anything yet. Just got to up slightly. There is items around here. Let's round the next place. So she will go from, she won't just stand there the whole game. She'll normally be sat down next to the bonfire. So you have to run off to every time you come back to Majula. This is the blacksmith of the game. You won't come through unless you buy his key from the hag merchant that we'll go find soon. Just grab this. More life gems. You should try your best to not use a lot of life gems, only because they can come in very useful later in the game when you're stuck for Estus. A lot of videos on this, but here we go. This knock this down, get your Estus Flask Shard, increases your Estus. So let's go to, this is the Iron Man. The more you spend with him, the more cocky you'll get. Like now he's sat on the floor. At one point he'll sit either here, just in front of where I'm stood, or he'll sit on there, but he swaps between those two spots the more cocky he gets, and at one point he has both his arms back, and he's real cocky about all the money he's earned, or all the souls, which is money he's earned from selling all his wares. So nothing we can really buy. The best armour you can get quite early on will be the Alvaram, but you have to spend so much to increase his wares. So a nice, I think we're already wearing Falconer now. I think we're in the Falconer chest. I missed this on my first playthrough, and it was only when a friend played this that he noticed this. Up here I think you get some Titanite shards. There we go. Because Majula's just full of items. You can make there's a whole YouTube video just talking about items in Majula, but we're just going to we can't get in there yet, but there's plenty of items in there. You get that key off an NPC quite soon. And that's the go. We don't need to know about that for this playthrough. Let's go to, oh, actually, you're in Majula. You'll get advice to go to the Forest of Fallen Giants. Don't do what I'm going to do, unless you know you're fully aware of what the consequences of this. I'm currently playing through with this Covenant, which is, I think it's called the Covenant of Champions, I think. And it increases the difficulty sort of so many folds, and all the enemies are harder, and you get different rewards though, so. But it does make the game extremely hard. We don't need to go down to this area right now. If you want to do a wield, that's totally fine. But we will do this, because I wish I did this. I wish I knew about this. Should I say when I first started. We're not going to fight any enemies. All we're going to do is get a chest that is lying on the left hand side of here. And it's a shield. I think it's either a Parma shield or a red leather. If there is a red leather, crimson Parma. Right. So let's take off the dagger, and we'll keep the broadsword for now. Broadsword for now. Normally I'd advise you to go all the way through there and try to fight one of those sort of old knights. There's a bonfire just on his right hand side, and it makes it easy so you don't have to run all the way through again. You can just walk to it when you do need to go to the area. But for this video I'm hoping we just get to finish the one of the first sort of big bosses, which will be the last giant. So, I didn't find this area very easily. I had to look online the first time I played this game. I think it's quite hidden, but that's just me. Let's rest up. You get an item box straight off the bat in this game, which is awesome because you don't have to spend, I think it was 2,000 or 3,000 souls off that merchant in Dark Souls 1. I speak for it. Just speak a bit, so you just got to sort of, is that shield you found? Yes I have. Let's see how much we can level up right now. Oh, great. Right, so let's go. Normally they say like try and write, so a lot of messages you'll find will sort of ease a lot of sort of wonders you can think on. When we say anything, there's the things that I need to go back for. A lot of things people just write down the floor to help you out, and there are so many messages. This one being a stupid one. Not to listen to that. Left. So the community in itself helps you out. "26 minutes in, just out of a jeweler." Yeah, there's a chance we can do this. Right. When I was here, I could see the ghost running down that sort of left hand side. Sometimes when a friend of mine's played this, he's missed that completely, and I'm just saying, just go down there and get the item. Or human effigies. It's a good place to farm human effigies. I think there's a couple down here. If use the bonfire settings to sort of replace all the enemies and all the items that you've earned in the area. So I know this is a place where people farm armour and human effigies whilst they're here. Let's get rid of these. The vision cones of all these enemies are refreshingly large, so that you don't actually get that close to them. They do notice you, and their enemy patterns are sort of a nice change up from what you find in Dark Souls 1. You'll find that sort of the way they're placed enemies on this game, it's mostly mobs. I think they found that with Ornstein and Smough, or Smough, however you want to pronounce it. The battle was the most sort of engaging, one of the most challenging fights in Dark Souls 1, and they ended up, for better or worse, littering a lot of the game with just mob encounters, whether that's something that you prefer or you don't like as much in Dark Souls 2. Sit at this bonfire, if we sit at this bonfire, we leave ourselves wide open to all this enemy attack. So for now, we don't need to. We don't take that much damage. His armor's alright. We did pick up some hollow infantry armor, which is nowhere near as good as this. And it is the Falcon armor that I thought we had. So the picking the knight is quite good because you do get a good set of armor. Well, you do get the good chest bit of armor to begin with, but that does mean that you are going to have to spend souls in a different aspect with the armor merchant, just so that he does increase his wares. Right. We've got a few enemies here. There's an archer up on the left hand side, so do not spend a lot of time around here. Let's just go straight up. Oh, actually, let's run. Not do that. I think the pressure still gets you. The pressure of not just doing the video that's bad enough in itself, but trying to sort of get as best you can perfect playthrough of what you deem to be the most helpful for this game, and getting all the things right on straight away. Right, let's try to get through this area as fast as we can. These are all dying 2 hits, which is so helpful. You don't be spending any time. They only drop life gems anyway, so I don't think we're missing a lot, even if we do miss something. We've got 26 life gems from that, from those healing wares. This is a starting gift. Oh, we did forget an item. This sleeping gentleman. Yeah. And also, speaking of comments, let's start a conversation of things that we'll find. And the other thing that I was most wary of when first playing this game is, what do I need? Because I found that when playing Dark Souls, when you start a fresh character completely, all your Titanite shards and all your armor increasing sort of items you want to save, because you know later on what you want to be dumping them in to make them better. So in this I was quite wary of increasing any armor at all, because I just think, well, what's going to be better for me later on in the game, which isn't sort of the pure way to go through the game. But when you play Dark Souls a lot of hours, and you put 200 hours into Dark Souls 1, so you put that many hours in, you want to let's get this Estus going. Ooh, that was intense. Get rid of that. Yeah, I think the Estus is still viable, because they made the life gem there to slowly increase your health. I think after playing this and then playing Dark Souls, you don't really... I think the argument's there that it makes the whole experience sort of easy, because when you stack up on these life gems, it makes it... Let's see what we got. See if that short sorting better. No. Yeah, I don't know if it makes the experience any better, or whether it makes the experience more weighty. Not weighty as in... but weight as in like you're waiting around just for this life gem to increase, especially when you're facing just regular enemies. You can just be waiting around, but... Right, let's get this item now. Glad I pulled that off. Right, Soul Name Soldier and Throwing Knife. Throwing knives are useful. So useful. Let's get down here. And up here we will face the very first of, I think it is 4. There's no more than 4 anywhere. These Hide Knights, when you see them for the first time, I thought it was an NPC. And God, do they have nice armor. I'm in that lucky bunch of people who used so much bonfire aesthetics and items and just about everything I could do in my power to get the full set. Because when you see it, you just think, God, I want that. So, I think when you're Tekken, you get, in the first playthrough you only get the weapons, in the second playthrough you get the armor, but you got to remember, if you're using bonfire aesthetics, that is putting your game up to New Game Plus. So, let's go on, let's see how we text it. These have a fantastic attacking pattern. You just never, even when you know how they're attacking. You never know what they're going to do next. They seem to cancel frames out of their own attack patterns and just attack you at. Like, I'm sure he doesn't attack here like. I'll try to get behind him because I think he does it when you stood behind him. And he just shunts and goes straight behind. Nice power shield is like that. It's not this lash on. This tree is very useful because obviously it can use putting distance between you and the enemy. But he is one relentless bad dude. Like I said, the throwing arrows are so useful. I'm just using them on this guy because I have a time if I'm trying to scout an area, I'll just use these just to pull a few enemies forward. What will drop? The High Knight Sword, which is an awesome weapon. It's a really decent weapon. What do we need? We need 10 dex. Let's just get this broadsword back out. It's a good weapon. I think you find oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to another good weapon you can use later on. Obviously, you can see that in there. Don't drop in there. You see that a guy, but there is one more enemy there, and I think that's right. So it's best. I think there's a third enemy around here, and the message on the floor saying the same thing. Best way to take out this guy. The enemies will hear your footsteps in here, which will draw their attention. And here you have that, destroy that. Wood bolt, so for all you crossbowies, useful. New enemy, which aren't very hard to fight, but they are wearing it's the hollow, I think it's a hollow soldier. Yeah, the hollow soldier armor, which when you do pick up, looks really nice and is really decent with sort of a light to medium armor to increase it for later in the game. Got to watch your back really carefully, don't spend too much time. The guy throwing bombs. Just wait until I kind of know he's there, so I can leave my camera for a while because I know I want to dodge him. But I've got to think, if you're coming up here and he's just stood right there ready to throw bombs, and for the first time players it's so easy just to get caught off guard by, not necessarily cheap, but just aggravating placement of enemies. It's just there just to completely catch you off guard first time. It's a lot of what Dark Souls is. I think it's not necessarily tricks, but just first time wares that you're sort of getting used to, and after the first time you're ready to deal with them. Next time you get to a situation, the booklet, you're able to use that. Right, let's get to the Merchant Hag. Really, we're on 36 minutes so now, hoping to really get to this first boss. I thought when you killed him you'd get the halberd, but you don't. Right, let's go. We're not far from the boss. I'm hoping we can reach it in time. Let's get speaking to her. If you spend, I think it's 10,000 with her, she gives you the covetous gold serpent ring, either the normal one or the +1. So save up for that because you're going to want it. It's the ring that increases souls gained. She doesn't sell very good armor. I think it's a traveller set. Decent if you're a cleric or using sorcerer. This is great because you use soul arrows and you heal straight off. What we're wanting, if we remember, blacksmith, this is key. I buy this. I'm not too worried about my solo at this point. I buy this because I think the more you have, the better really. The Forest Lockstones are in certain areas of the game that if you come across them, you use them, and some are awful traps. That just either induce poison or I think we need the soldier key for this. Yeah, you need the soldier key for that, which is what we get if we fight the boss of this area. Some of the Pharaoh's lockstones are just useless, and they're not very easy to come by in your first playthrough because you don't know sort of where they're coming from or what you can use them on. But after you play through the first time and you've sort of used them on a lot of areas that are naff, then you realise that you've got to save them. I think in one of the updates, I think I'm playing the recent update for this. Oh. Just getting there. I think I'm playing the recent update for this, and they actually nerfed the fire salamanders because that area you have to be high soul level. I think on my other character, I'm in the late hundreds, and when they catch you off guard, even still, those fire salamanders can just wreck you up if you're not wearing sort of appropriate fire defense rings or armor or whatever. Like, it can just mess you up. And there's no message behind him saying sort of playing dead or something, which is. So down here, can we go here? Locked soldier key again. That's fine because we don't need to go down there for the sake of this video. Let's just get up here so we can get a good vantage view of all this first. Right, they're not going to bother us, so that's fine. Let's go. Right, we see this big area, we see archers. Where we need to go is sort of that area there. We need to go in that door down there, so let's start. Let's just shoot down here. We'll go all the way around, we'll go in a full right circle. So keeping aware, there's an enemy behind us, probably coming up the stairs, where he won't be up the stairs yet. He's dead, he's up the stairs. You've got to always be sort of mindful of these archers on his right hand side as well. I always find it hard to parry on this game. On the first Dark Souls I found it really easy to parry enemies, but then in this game I found it next to, not next to impossible, but really difficult. Right, taking that. There's another enemy? No, right, I need to make this jump. And I am aware that there is that small building in front of us, that there's an item inside, but we'll come back to that. Obviously if there's anything that I miss, or like as I said, if there's boulder. Hopefully you didn't get killed by that if you're doing a step by step of this. More human images. This is a really important NPC. Just want to keep speaking to me as the guy who was making the map of Dren Lake. You don't want to kill him now, not at all. Gives you the key to his house, which is that mansion in Majula. Plenty of items in there. You see a nod to the last game in there, a smashed Lord vessel. And there's also skeletons down there, but I don't have a clue how they work. I've been told that every time you start a new game there's another one, or it's every time you light one of the primal bonfires, which is sort of the big bosses of different areas, you get one then, but I don't know for sure. So I think you speak to him, he's talking about making a map and he's forgetting why he's here, and then he's going back to his house soon. That's fine, we want him back there. Don't go down there and left, because people probably say there's treasure or probably anything. Just don't go. This is an arch that's been a pain in your ass, although leading to this. Sweet revenge. And like I said before, that little sort of broken down building on that far side, let's get to that real quick before we go to the next area. I found this quite a confusing area when I first dropped into it, because you don't know where to go. It's all sort of really, you think that you can sort of fall into one area but then not be allowed, or you have to go all the way back to sort of get to different bits that you want, because you want to collect all the items. This is a place that you don't want to be coming back just to be collecting items anyway. You just want to come, get your items and leave. So let's, obviously you want to, I normally tackle the outside first, and then I tackle the inside. Let's just get down here. That's convenient. Nothing in this house, you just want to drop down out of here. There we go. That locked door that we found before, that leads to through there. You get the, I think it's either the leather armor, I think it's the leather armor, I don't think it's the hard leather armor, I think it's the leather armor that anyone who's played Dark Souls, or I think it was in Demon Souls as well, will know that quite well. Right, so we'll finish this area, let's leave. Not any point out, there's not amazing items, but we do need to get them nonetheless. These can be a right pain when put together, so it's best just to get rid of them. Oh, keep seeing these people, right. This is a choice now. Because you can either face, no, look, let's not bother. Oh no, no. There's an enemy up here called, I don't think it's called the Watcher or the Guardian, maybe he's a Seeker, something like that. And basically it's like a mini boss that gets dropped by a griffin when you come up here. And you think that, like that there, we're not going to be able to fight him now. Not like this, I ain't even leveled up one shit, so let's just let him settle up there. And I've just totally messed up for myself. However, maybe I can make it work. Let's try, we need to blow this up. Yeah, we've knackered this. We need to leave him alive, we needed him alive really. Let's get rid of this. Yeah, we really needed him alive, basically. I'm trying to think. Other swords. Need to find, no, it's not going to work. Basically, he throws bombs which blow up this wall, which lead right to where that hag merchant was selling things. It's so useful, like such a good shortcut. It's only through the community that actually found that that was actually there. In here, be really careful. Just all them are doing that. It's what, four huge crossbows are gonna, right? And they're all coming out. You want to tackle these as fast as possible because it starts to mob you. And for anyone who's sort of just, let's just, woo! Green Blossom. This is Pete. Great character. Really interesting story in Dark Souls 2 as well. Plenty of items in here you definitely want to get in here. Blue Wooden Shield. I think the Wooden Shield's better than the Palmer. Yeah. I'll end up keeping this Wooden Shield for a while until we finally get some of our stats increased. It's knocked down here. This is why I bought the Farrell's Lockstone. This isn't a trap, or is it the trap? Yeah. God, I should have knew that. I don't know why I tried running away from it, because I knew if I just stood there with the shield, I'd have been able to just take that. But I think your first instinct is to run away like you can avoid it, and that's what they expect you to do. I think by my time I'm on 40 some minutes. Let's make this happen now. I want to get to that first. I'd love to make constrained, very constrained in this first hour. especially with Dark Souls, there's so much to talk about, so much that you sort of want to explain, and things that when I played I'd love to have known, but especially this first hour you just got to really condense it, and this being the first video I hope I've condensed it enough, and if there's enough appeal to make a longer video then I'd love to. You just got to find the right appeal for it basically. Let's get rid of these. Right, let's make the right mistake, the right choice. Let's not make the same mistake. Right, I think I'm just going to take it. I'm just going to take the hit. I'm really wanting to blow these up. Come on. You just need to really go. Oh. Right, let's get rid of these. I hate how these enemies are able to. Right, all these are smashed now. Come on, make the right choice. God, this, come on, man. What's the point of him even being there when he's not even going to effectively... What is the point? Right, I can't afford to waste time and wait for that. Can't afford. Right. I'm doing this just for the sake of the reason why I bought Pharaoh's Lockstone. Oh crap, all those enemies are still alive, aren't they? Completely went past them, didn't give a crap about them. So, I'll do a deal with this. Let's do this first. Basically, you'll see a face. Use that, that's why I bought it. Then that will light up another area which we just need to slash. Done. 2 chests. Chlorantha ring, which is an awesome ring. We want to knock that on straight away. A Titantis slab. Very useful things from these Pharaoh's Lockstone. So the Chlorantha ring is the stamina speed increase ring. All these people don't really want to play bullshit games. Oh, hello. Let's make this interesting. They're not bothered about me, he's not bothered about me. Let's see what time we're on. 51, we got time for this. Right, so down here, I don't think there's any items down here, but you will need, oh, there's one behind this tree. Large soul lost and dead. Great. You'll need to come here later on when you get the Ashen Mist Heart. That's end game stuff that I don't need to spoil it on this video. Let's see how fast we can get rid of these. See if I can go to the area just behind me over there, because there is a secret in there which I luckily got taught by someone who I summoned into the game. This is a tricky area. You don't want to mess this up, and I don't want to make another mistake of messing this up. So let's see what we've got in our arsenal to deal with this situation. Witching urns. Let's see how we can use these without right, decent. Let's get these finished. I think you only need to really deal with one, and then oh, God, I thought my animation would kick in before it is. Get this done. Mail break and infantry. We haven't even got a helmet on, so let's knock. Oh, could we put that on? Let's knock this on. Got anything else? Nope. Got the mail breaker, which is the dex. One of the dex weapon of choices for all the early Dex players. Let's mark this up. It's Assassin's Creed out of here. Let's go speak to Pete. Pete. I thought it was Pete. Just keep speaking to him. Right, so he is one of the so-called unsavoury bandits. If you run into that door, it does lock behind you, and you are left with yet another mob. 3 just undead hollows, not really anything. Not anything that's going to sort of ruin your life. There's 1, 2, 3 there. We are going to head to that door. Let's sneaky sneak. Oh, come on. Right. Oh, let's get rid of that. So there's plenty of enemies down here to deal with anyway, never mind having to... I've got the advantage on these stairs, so if we just keep... It's all about finding the right situational awareness for them really, because you can take a hit, but as long as you're swiping to catch sort of 2 of them. Right, in here, never would have seen this coming, never even expected it, but new thing in Dark Souls 2, keep smashing X on certain walls, and secret treasure rooms open. Sorcerer's Staff and the Amber Herb, great. I know it feels like I'm sort of rushing through this bit, but those 3 people, I don't even need to touch them. Don't even need to touch them because there's nothing in that area. I don't need to, unless I need the door. Unless I need the door to lock for him to. Maybe if I just get the. Yeah, the door has to lock to me to get the next tidbit of information from it. I think you get the white soapstone from him. Oh, forgot about you. He's the weaker one. It's a fast animation that. I'm sure I'll try to sort of outfight him then. Right, one Estus left. Let's get this. Let's get this done. Because I know if you speak to him and then he gives you the item, you can summon him for this boss battle, which is what I will be doing. Great. Let's not bother with this dude. I don't really have the time or the patience to play around with him. Also, these 2 unsavory gentlemen. Oh, I thought I was going to clip him then. Right. My sword's going to bust. I really don't want to deal with him right now. Ah. seem familiar. This is where the Fire Salamander pit is. We get him, done with him. Shoot when we snipe. I just feel like it rounds sort of experience off a bit better if we at least do something not perfect. So this should be Pate, mild-mannered Pate. So that's why I'm human. He is useful for this boss fight. I'm gonna get my dagger ready. Shots. Okay, I can use the shots, so let's get the dagger ready. Because this sword is going to break, and let's go. Let's finish this video off with a helpful boss fight, which are Dark Souls 2's most interesting and their best spectacle is the boss fights. Surely that must be really painful for him, but can't care too much, right? I was really sort of intimidated when I saw this boss, but then when you get into him, actually, I think we'll leave it there for today. This has been your first hour in Dark Souls 2. I hope I've got enough information out there for you. And if you want us to carry on the video or do another video like this, just leave in the comments below and let's start a discussion if there's anything that I've missed or anything that anyone else would like to advise new players or anyone starting New Game Plus. Let's start a discussion in the comments below. This has been Quirk Troop Gaming, out.